3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to the Dublin Arsenal podcast. It's Wednesday, the 31st of May. I'm your host, as always, and throughout this season, Jonathan Giles. I'm joined on the show this week by my regular guest this season, Matt Bourne. How are you, Matt?
I'm good, Jonathan. How are you?
Not too bad. Thanks for coming on, pal.
No bother at all.
Martin Stumble, he was busy doing the live stream for fingers crossed. We're on the road. How are you, Martin?
Not too bad, thanks for having me.
I can see the beer sweats coming out from our live score for
Oh god!
It was a great night. We'll get into that in a minute. And I'm also joined by Eamonn Donnelly. How are you, Eamonn? And welcome to the show.
Evening, Jonathan. Evening, Martin. Evening, Matt. Just finished watching Coronation Street there. I see. Cam Barlow there. Cam Barlow said to her when she was with Baldwin, it was so frustrating, Deirdre.
Me and Martin were trying to do that impersonation on the bus.
No one can do that. No one can do it.
Even the passengers on the seat were trying it silently. Welcome to the show, lads, and thanks for being with me again for what's our second last show of the 22-23 season. You can catch our show on the YouTube channel. Just type in Dublin Arsenal, in the search bar. Spotify, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. We're also on. Check out our sister show, Beyond the Last Man with Martin Stumble. Hopefully we get back to up and running, Martin. I say more so next season. This is where we're going to give it another.
We give it a bit of a rest, and then next season we hopefully all well. We come back to it. Just busy enough with making your show.
If everyone listened to me, everything will be all right.
It'll be okay.
we don't support the show. We care about it, as Eamonn says.
I don't follow the Arsenal. I worry about them. Yeah.
I'm glad you worry about me as well. Check out
Jonathan, we all worry about you.
I worry about myself, most important.
Matt knows what I mean when I say I don't follow the Arsenal. I worry about them because he's very same himself.
Very, very, very similar. I got to say, you taught me that, Eamonn.
Remember, in the Fever Pitch book, Nick Hornby said he doesn't know what age he is because he measures his life in seasons.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, what a film. What a great film, yeah. Check out our sponsor, Balon Sports Direct. Thanks to them for sponsoring us the last few months. Good range of gear on that. Martin has brought some stuff off as well, and Craig Smith. Check out our friends at justarsenal.com. Pat McLaughlin and co. Really doing a good job there. Over 1,000 subscribers now and going upwards as well. So thanks to them for mentioning us on Twitter as well. Just type in at Just Arsenal News and Just Arsenal Vids where you catch up here stuff. Check out the River Bar in Dublin City Centre. Will we be there next season, Martin?
Well, this is going to be discussed. I think we're going to have a meeting now, after the little few breaks we have, and then we'll see where we're going to go. But we definitely trying to sort this out sooner rather than later, I think.
Yeah. They've been great. I have to say they've been great this season. Where they've really put on a good show for us in the room downstairs, and we've met a lot of fans, new fans from the US in particular, in that bar as well. So, thanks to the River Bar crew for welcoming us all season long. We'll go to last week's stats, lads. For last Monday's, it was 86 views, 6 likes, and subscriber-wise now we're at 3,013 now, which isn't too bad, Martin. We're going well, aren't we?
Yeah, we definitely going well, and thanks to everybody who stuck with us for the last year and listened to all our nonsense we probably said and all thing. But yeah, look, we're growing fine, as I said, and I want to put a good thanks out for yesterday for Live Score for inviting us to this Champions League preview, which was really, really good. It was amazing that there was not one Man City fan there, and I think that's absolutely shocking.
Wow.
That is really like, you know, they're playing in the final, and they invited them, and they said no, we can't come. So I don't know, like, you know, it just shows the club what kind of club it is, but that's what it is. But thanks to LiveScore for inviting us and having us, and hopefully we can be there next time again for another final show where we might be in the final. God, you never know.
Yeah. It was a great show. Conor McNamara, the BBC commentator for Match of the Day, hosted the show, and he was joined by Evan Ferguson, Dennis Irwin, and our own Emma Bourne. So it was a really good evening. I'm delighted to say Conor McNamara will be joining us on next Monday's show. We'll be reviewing the whole season. So I'm looking forward to Conor. He won't forget us, that's for sure. He wants the Super League, by the way, lads. So it's a good discussion. I think we argued about that for half an hour and we still didn't come out with any else. Thanks to LiveScore, and if you'd like to be our sponsor, LiveScore, you've got us on board there. Thanks to Neil Egan and Richard White, who left good comments again. I know, Eamon, you know these two lads well, don't you?
I do, and I mentioned Neil Egan last week, but I also want to mention Mr. Richard White the third, and that's third with a H in it. So he's a big Everton fan, and listens to this show every week. A real football guy, and he was over at the Everton game. And just to say, Richie, I'm delighted Everton survived. They're a club that belongs to the Premier League, and they're not the other crowd.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean, Richie. Okay, they're not the other crowd. Big Stand FC. Yeah.
Also, thanks for listening in, Richie, as Eamon just said. And if there's any away tickets going for the match next season, you know where to get it.
You're always in the crowd, aren't you? Always in the crowd.
In Richard, we trust.
Thanks
to Neil Egan. We're going to try to send you out a Dublin Arsenal fan pack. I'll get Martin onto that because I know he enjoys watching and listening to our shows. He's going to watch the whole season over again over the summer, so I have to say hats off to you. I don't think I'd be bothering myself. I'm too busy doing
dedication, all right,
for the season. On Dixby's show, lads, we're going to review our final home success over Wolves, which ended I think we'd all agree, a great campaign and all. And we'll also be doing our player and goal of the month for May. And at the end of the show, of course, our Arsenal quiz this Friday, and we're hoping to do it live. Martin's trying to do us up there or something, and we mentioned that at the end of the show as well. So that's this coming Friday, 2nd of June at 9 p.m. Into the match review, lads. 5-0 to the Arsenal, of course. 2 goals by Granit Xhaka. Bukayo Saka scored in the first half, and in the second half, Gabriel Jesus and Jakub Kivior would seal a really good win. It's similar to the last game of the season against Everton. You know, we played with freedom, you know, and it was a nice send-off if Granit Xhaka does go. If that was his last appearance, he finished high. Granit Xhaka signed for us in 2016, 225 appearances and 17 goals. So he can go out with his head held high, I think, in all fairness, a good servant to the club. Of course, we sported our new home jersey on Sunday, and the win itself was really nice. You know, I thought Bukayo Saka was back to his best again. Gave Wolves fullback just a third of time, took his goal well. Trossard again, and Martin Odegaard, superb. Granit Xhaka, 2 goals he deserved, and of course Jesus got a great header as well. Wolves were on holiday mode, you know, they were safe, and we took advantage of that, but they gave the fans a good send-off. Really good speech by Mikel Arteta as well at the end. And with Champions League football look forward to now in September as well. Things are looking good, and I'm excited about the transfer window. But that win on Sunday, we finished in second, won 26 matches like in the Invincible season, drew 6, lost 6, scored 88. I think we scored 103, I think, in total. Conceded 43 and finished with 84 points. Martin, how did you see the game on Sunday yourself?
Yeah, I was one of the few in the river bar because I think everybody else was in London. so yeah, you can't blame them. And look, it was still a good enough turnout, I think, for the end. We had a little raffle on as well for a few prizes to end the season. Yeah, it was one of these games, like, it wasn't. Not that it didn't count for anything, but we wanted to sign off with a win. And look, I was so happy for Granit Xhaka that he got his 2 goals. So if it's his last season with us, like, I think he got a really, really good send-off and he scored the goals. Would have been nice if he had a hat-trick, but like that didn't happen. But I think he tried a few times, which just didn't happen. But no, it was a good game. But as I said, it was one of these games where I didn't pay too much attention to it. It just kind of ran with it. And like, there was, because we played so well, there wasn't that much excitement or nothing really happening too much. So it was all right for me. Look, I would have loved to have been in the stadium. But as we all know, the tickets were scarce. So, but I'm sure, like, look, it was a very good result. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough for winning the title. Would have been nice if it would have gone to the last day. But look, it was a really good game. So I enjoyed it. Everybody else in the river enjoyed it. I'm sure everybody in the stadium enjoyed it. So yeah, that's from my side anyway.
Who stood out for you, Martin, for your man of the match on Sunday?
Well, as I said, like, Xhaka played really well. I think, as I said, I would have loved to see him had a hat trick. So I give it for his last match. I give him the man of the match as well.
He won't give you the 2-finger salute neither for giving him that. The day was really tapped off as well by sports not making Europe, so it really was a great end of season for all Gooners involved. Eamonn, how did you see the game on Sunday yourself?
Well, I didn't. No, you see, out of my pure Corinthian spirit of collegiality, I made a decision a long time ago. I wasn't going to the last game of the season because I'd been to all the big games, those sort of games. So I stepped back because of the ticket squeeze, right? And I'd been at Liverpool, I'd been Man United, Tottenham, Chelsea. It wasn't Chelsea because they changed dates. But I'd been to all those. So I made a decision a good while ago not to go. As it happened, the Rods and Mockers, who do the theme tune for the show, were supposed to be gigging on Sunday anyway, in a festival that unfortunately got called off because of problems with insurance and all stuff. So I was never going to the game. So when Sunday arose, I actually opted to go to Croke Park and watch the Dublin hurlers and the Dublin footballers. So I've only really seen the highlights. So it wouldn't be I wouldn't be the best qualified to speak about the game, but I will say one or two things. Now it wouldn't be like me to talk, It's good to finish the season off with a flourish, and give the fans something to go home happy about. That's number one. Number two, I did listen to every part of Arteta's speech, and it was really, really honest. Really honest, really kind of. If anybody doubts this man's commitment to this club, or if anybody says, "Oh, Barcelona are looking for Morel," this man is on our journey with us, the club that he captained. He didn't captain Barcelona. He didn't captain Real Madrid. And it's good that names are sniffing around him because it shows, guess what, Jonathan? He's a big name manager. Do you know what I mean?
He's made the grade, thank God.
Yeah. And the other thing that was obvious is the connection with the supporters and the team. I could see it from a lot of my friends. A lot of my friends sent me videos in real time, and it was incredible. And then the day belonged to Granit Xhaka. How brilliant it was! Because I always say in the show, I was there the day the bad thing happened, right? And I was there the day the bad thing happened to a buoy, and I turned on supporters and said, "Well, you're going to boo your own players. Come on, let's get real here, you know. But Granit Xhaka, there was banners in the crowd saying, "We love you, Granit. Don't go," you know. And the guy's gonna go. He's gone. He's gone, right? So what's going to happen to him now is he's going to go as an Arsenal legend, and people will look back and say Xhaka was a real player, you know. Just one or two other things. We finished on 84 points, the best since 2004. The best we've done since that was 83 points in 07-08 when we should have won the league, and Eduardo got his legs broken. So it's been the best performance for many, many years. And I can remember being at end of season games, and Martin referenced it, you know, the atmosphere, blah, blah, blah. There wasn't too much. But I can remember being at end of season games when the stadium was half empty when the team went around, even though they qualified for the top four. So that'll tell you the difference. So, all in all about Granit Xhaka, all about finishing on a good note and a great connection with the fans, and it was a good day for the Arsenal.
Yeah, Granit Xhaka, his season stats: 27 appearances, 7 goals, 7 assists. So, good season for him this year to finish off with. Yeah,
John, can you have an echo on your system there? You know,
is there? Yeah.
I think it's gone now.
Yeah.
Okay.
A bit of an echo, all right, yeah.
How did you see the game, Matt?
Yeah, I suppose same as the lads, Jonathan and yourself. A very, very end of season game. Very, very similar. I was over at the Everton game last game of the season. I felt it felt very similar to it. It was a fantastic game, fantastic performance. I thought you've got echoes down.
I don't know where this echo comes from.
Yeah. I can hear myself talking anyway.
That's a good thing.
I'll keep going anyway. Yeah, the echo's gone. So, look, it was a brilliant performance all over the pitch. It's a very similar performance to when we were at our very best this season. We didn't have all the possession, but we certainly had all the chances. Xhaka and Odegaard were fantastic between the two of them. They were playing the ball between the two of them perfectly. Like I said, when they play football, we play football. And the two of them were fantastic. Xhaka was superb. Can't believe he's only scored 17 goals. He must have scored nearly half of them this season.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? It's sad today.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. But listen, it was a great way to send them off. He did have an opportunity. The ball came in from the centre of the box at one stage. He had an opportunity to hit, and he hit him wrong and went out wide. You know, but listen, the whole atmosphere around. Eamonn was talking about the speech we had, which was phenomenal, and I totally agree with Eamonn on that. That he's here for us. He's not for anybody else. The people are going to sniff around him, but he's here for the long haul, as far as I'm concerned. Xhaka, I suppose Xhaka was fantastic again, absolutely brilliant. The way he cut that ball back in for his goal was fantastic, absolutely brilliant. And brilliant to see he signed his new contract as well. Hopefully it'll encourage a couple more people to sign up. I worry that Saliba may not sign and may leave in the summer. I don't know why I get that feeling, but I just think there's something going on there. It's very Anelka-like. Just feels like a bit Anelka-like, the way it's going on. But you never know. Hopefully they can tie him down to something. Like we said, 84 points is a superb total. I think City scored 6 more goals than us in the Premier League. And what was it? They scored 6 more goals, and Haaland got the majority of them. It just shows you how good our players have been all over the pitch. You know, with our midfielders scoring lots of goals and everything else. So, look, it's been a really great season. We should be very proud of them. It's just unfortunate the way it ended that we couldn't walk away with a trophy. But there we are. We move on and look forward to next season. Interesting show.
Yeah. Just for the audience, Jonathan is laughing, but we're not quite sure what he's laughing at. You know.
Johnny, you have to unmute yourself. On the bottom, there's a little microphone. You click on it.
Don't keep coming so close to the screen. It's frightening. Anyway, we'll crack on. So anyway, Jonathan didn't ask me who I thought was who stood out for me, but the answer is Stephen Cluxton.
Oh God!
He stood out for me.
For me, it would probably be Xhaka. Xhaka for the I suppose for the nostalgia of him.
Xhaka for the occasion. Yeah. Well, Bukayo Saka was the best player on the pitch, but he's the best player in England.
Yeah.
It
was great. It was great.
Wasn't he the best player in England?
You know, it's hard to believe that only a couple of seasons ago he was getting booed off the pitch and he was giving the fans the finger and everything else. You know, it was very how things have changed in a few years, and that's all down to Arteta. You know, the way Arteta's changed him completely.
Yeah, 100%. And it just shows us why the commitment. You know, and I think. Even like with the pressure being off and like the way we changed the play, it just really developed his. He was always supposed to play. He never had the chance, I think, and that's what happened this season. And then I really think that's just made him so good. And like he's gonna be a hard thing to replace, 100%.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a tip. The replacement for Granit Xhaka will be Mason Mount.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm telling you now.
He's definitely being touted around anyway, but...
What's this space? Ornstein has it and Romano has it, and when they have it, it's normally going to happen.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that now that they had it.
Chelsea have to get rid because they spent so much money on some guy, Mudrake, was it Mudrake or whatever his name was? Mudguard. Mudguard, I don't know what it was.
Something like that.
They've got to get wages off their books now. Mason Mount is actually the player I feared most from Chelsea when we were playing. He's really good.
Yeah.
So that's something I'd like to happen.
Yeah. He'll also be homegrown as well.
Yeah.
So no harm.
Remember the ad for Bird's Eye Peas, Matt? It's the next best thing to growing your own, Jim says.
I do recall vaguely. Yeah.
Jim says some guy called Jim was growing peas everywhere. You know, he couldn't stop himself.
Looks like you've lost the host, lads.
I don't know what's happened. It's just I think he pressed the wrong button. Now there's no camera as well. So
he pressed all my wrong buttons for an entire season. So look, Martin, you take over the hosting of the show there because you're good at this, you know.
Yeah, I'm trying to, but look, as I said, for the game itself, like it was a dead rubber, but like it was great for the atmosphere, and it was just good to see that we signed off in style, and look, we already. Season is over and we're already going into this transfer window madness, so it's just there's no thing. And look, when is the new fixtures are coming out on the 15th of June already, so like that there's not much. Hey,
you're back, Jonathan. I
heard every word you said, even disgrace.
No, I was just saying that in future next year now you've got to say sign language is available for viewers of Jonathan.
I know the P45s are being issued at the end of the show.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's actually better not being involved and having to listen to all condemning the host. I like that Champions League football there, Martin. Where did you get that last night?
They only gave you one between the 4 years, did they?
we actually robbed that.
I heard sacked in the morning.
There wasn't one for everyone in the audience, no?
There wasn't, unfortunately. There wasn't, no.
That's our gift from Conor McNamara for being on the show next Monday.
Yeah. If he watches this now and sees the back, he won't be one to come on,
Conor won't be able to cope with the high spec technology that we have on this show.
I hope his reception is better than theirs. Conor, are you listening? It was a good result, and lads, wasn't it? 5-0 last day of the season. Great way to end, and second at the table, and most important, Champions League football next season. Mission accomplished.
That's it, yeah.
So that's the season wrapped up. We'll be doing a full review on next Monday with Conor McNamara, and I have to carefully choose the other guests. I don't know if I issue Conor with a P45 before he starts, it wouldn't be very professional.
You might want to issue you with a new laptop. That might help.
With that attitude, Martin, you're off after tonight.
Well, I'm on holiday anyway from Saturday onwards, so that's all right.
He's taking his own P45 and going abroad.
Oh, God. You got a transfer request.
This is the best part of the show now. Goal of the month for May. 6 to choose from. I'll begin with Martin. I'll read them out first, obviously. Martin Odegaard, the first goal against Chelsea that went in off the crossbar. Number 2 was Martin Odegaard again against Chelsea, where Xhaka assisted and he took nicely in the corner. 3, Martin Odegaard against Newcastle, that long range effort. Superb goal. 4, Granit Xhaka versus Wolves, the header. His first goal header at the back post. 5, Bukayo Saka again from Sunday. That corner shot pass. I thought that was a great goal. And then 6, Gabriel Jesus with the header from Trossard's assist. What was your favourite one of them, Mark?
I have to say, like the one what you just said, Trossard to Jesus, I think it was a really, really good goal. Like, you know, It was well worked, and I actually feel for Trossard. He has more assists, you know, like, and I think it would have been great for him to score in the last game as well, and he had a few chances, you know, because I really think he was one of our best players in the second half now, and what we bought, and so that goal was really good. Like he put it on his head, and for once he actually got up in the air and put it in the net, you know. So yeah, like that, it was a great goal, and I take that as my goal of the month.
Yeah, good. That's a good pick, Martin. Jesus has arisen.
Yes, yeah. Risen for the cross. That was on Easter Sunday when we played Liverpool. Now.
Your goal of the month, Eamonn, out of 6.
Goal of the month. Oh God, come back to me on that. I have to think that. I thought you were talking about the goals on Sunday. The best goal on Sunday was by John Small. It was the only goal of the game. Bukayo Saka was tasty as well. Just let me think about that. Goal of the month. Go on to Matt there now and come back to me. I need to.
Matt, your goal of the month for me?
Well, I already had it picked out before you even said it. I think Saka's goal on Sunday for me. Yeah. I think just the way he pulled it back onto his left foot and he hit it instantly. I mean, there was no hesitation. He took it. The ball was played brilliantly through to him. He was involved in the build-up as well, and he got himself in a great position, stayed on side, and then when he looked like he was going outside, he turned it in and shot instantly, put it into the corner, beautifully placed. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to give it to Xhaka.
Yeah, very good. I can come back to you now, Jonathan.
About time.
No, I think Matt's right. That was a great goal, but you know, as Terry Venables would say about Saka, he's got feet. He can go here and there, high and low. He's got an head. I actually it's probably not the best goal, but my favourite goal, as Matt and I sat trembling beside each other, was Martin Odegaard's strike against Newcastle.
Yeah.
Because we've been under the cosh so much, and he just shifted it to his left foot. Jorginho just played it square, and nobody expected him to hit it so early, and he hit it like an arrow, and that was from a good distance. That's 25 yards, and the UK still do yards. That's 18.62 meters, and I'm not. You know, that's from way out, right? That's from way out. But normally, and I'll tell you what was so good about that goal. Normally, when you hit your foot through it, it's a top corner one, right? And the goalkeeper has a great chance of getting it. But if he can't reach it, it's gone. This one stepped in the ground all the way, and the keeper couldn't get near it. So, and you don't get the same sense of the power of the ball when it stays low. Because it doesn't have that kind of missile trajectory, but for the goalkeeper not to get that was hit with such power, and it was a brilliant goal and a really important goal. And it was one of those goals that when I look back on the season, that was the day where we were clinging on to hope, and they made us dream. So for me, Martin Odegaard.
Yeah, that was a good choice, Eamon. Yeah, I thought he had a great month overall and a great season overall, Martin Odegaard. Yeah. I'll probably give it to Martin Odegaard as well against Chelsea. That first goal he scored, the one in the top corner past Kepa. Brilliant finish, yeah. So well done to all the lads in May there. Player of the month, lads, 6 contenders. Martin Odegaard, Granit Xhaka, Jorginho, Bukayo Saka, Leandro Trossard, and Jakub Kiwior. I'll give it to Martin, your player of the month.
I give it to Odegaard because I think he's not only like the player of the month, like, you know, for me is the maybe Saka probably player of the season, but yeah, he's just such an integral part. When he plays well, Arsenal plays well. If he doesn't have a good game, we're not playing well. So he's just such a fundamental thing for Arsenal to have, and he really, especially in the last game now, like he played well against Chelsea. So yeah, Martin Odegaard for me is our captain.
Yeah, player of the month, Martin Odegaard from Martin. There you go. Eamon, your player of the month for May out of them 6 contenders.
Well, I would have given it to Martin Odegaard only for his loan spell. Kind of interrupted it. He went on loan to Nottingham Forest for about 10 minutes. I'm actually going to give it to Jorginho because his commitment to the cause and the way, especially against Forest, when no other player could get anything together.
Yeah.
The way he would keep the team as a heartbeat, and look, Odegaard was phenomenal during May, but I'm going to give it to Jorginho.
Yeah, good choice. Yeah, he got the players together when they were going through a tough time in May. Yeah, Matt, your player of the month for May.
Yeah, I agree with both of the lads in a sense. So it's a tough one. I don't think there's anybody outside Jorginho or Odegaard going to get it.
Yeah.
I think Odegaard overall is, without a doubt, you know, he's definitely been our best player this season. I know it's been very close with a lot of players, but I agree with Eamon in the sense of Jorginho. I think he changed something when we needed a bit of a change. He came in when we had lost, when Partey's form dipped a bit, and when Saliba went out of the team, he came in, he did a really good job. Really, really good job. He looked very certain in midfield. Like I say, Odegaard will get all the plaudits generally this season, but it's nice to mention a name like Jorginho, you know, player who's come in and done the job when we needed him. So I'll give it to Jorginho.
Yeah, I'd probably give it to Granit Xhaka. You know, just...
did you even mention him on the list, did you?
I did actually, yeah. If you were listening to correctly, if everyone stopped being smart on the show,
your volume went again.
I mean, you went as far down as Kiwior, like, you know, like, so.
No, I'd give it to Granit Xhaka just because of what he's done for Arsenal over 7 years, you know.
Yeah.
And he finished on a high on Sunday with 2 good goals, and he got a standing ovation with 15 minutes ago or so when he got taken off a sub. So I give it to Granit Xhaka, you know.
But you know what's lovely about that, Jonathan, was that the man himself knows that he's leaving Arsenal
as a legend
on really, really good terms.
Yeah.
The fans appreciating him and him appreciating the club.
Well, for the fans,
it's a really good ending, I think, to his Arsenal chapter, you know.
Yeah.
Granted, will you stay? I say he was a bit emotional here.
Substituted, that was the chorus. We want you to stay.
Yeah.
We want you to stay.
Yeah.
You know, it was lovely to see. You know, lovely to see. You know.
And then he stuck his 2 fingers up when he got into the dressing room.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, you see, I remember that chorus being applied to Bacardi Sanya when we knew he was going to go.
Yeah.
Bacardi Sanya was another player who gave everything for the Arsenal, absolutely everything. And to see Granit Xhaka leaving on the same terms, like if Bacardi Sanya moved to Man City, Samir Nasri moved to Man City. Compare and contrast the welcome they got back to the club.
Yeah.
No?
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
When
to
he-
mention
when he-
on
Yeah.
just to mention on Xhaka as well, like our designer from our websites and everything, he just made I don't know if anybody's seen it on Instagram, like he made a
Yeah,
nice
I saw
tribute.
it,
So
yeah.
I actually put this today in the frame.
Yeah.
So
Really well, yeah.
so would be
Nice.
nice actually to send one out to him, you know, to
Yeah.
Xhaka. Like we see if gonna try to figure out how if that is possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we're gonna have something anyways. It's nice to remember him like, on that way as well.
Ranit, if you're listening.
Granite, if you could stick it in the comment box, your email, and we'll get you a Dublin.
Email, telephone number, and where you live. We don't mind about the GDPR. We don't mind about that. It's all right.
In Granite, we trust.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he never thought we'd say that after the last few seasons. He said, no, but best of luck to him in the rest of his career. He said only 30, remember, so he's still young. And Xabi Alonso's doing a great job at Leverkusen, so he can only flourish, I think, under him. That wraps up player and goal of the month. The Arsenal, sorry, just a quick mention again. The Arsenal quiz this Friday is the 2nd of June. Martin, do you think we'll get that on live? Yeah.
I'm trying. Like I see how this little preview what we had. Like it's just more about the technical difficulties I think we have on this channel. We have to be worrying about more. So you know, just makes it interesting. But like, look, if we can't get it live, we will record it and we put it up like the last one, and everybody can then just have a look at it, because the last quiz we got about 2,500 views. Which was really good. So, and if it's good as yesterday, I mean, I nearly fell off the chair yesterday when Dennis Irvin said like his first goalkeeper was Dennis. It was Seaman, isn't it? David Seaman. And then I said to Jonathan, like, was it Seaman or Selleck? You know?
I was going to ask Dennis Irwin that, but I didn't think it was the right time.
He wouldn't have known what we're talking about, so like, it was only funny. It was only funny now I had. But,
I have to say, I have a lot of question marks about quizzes.
Yeah.
Eamon Donnelly is the reigning holder of the Little Dog Trophy.
I mightn't be there to defend my trophy, but look, you know.
You'll do what you're told. When you're told by the host, you'll do it. Also, just a quick mention, lads, the 23-24 season fixtures is out Thursday, June the 15th, so not long to wait there. And our last podcast will be
on the last day. I think that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it now. Another 9 months of liver failure is on the way. Yeah, as I mentioned there, our last podcast is on Monday, the 5th of June. Conor McNamara will be on. We'll be going through the pre-season. We'll be going through the review of the season. Going through the pre-season fixtures that's been confirmed already. Possible. Martin was saying there's a possible chance if City beat United on Saturday, we'll be in the Community Shield. Is that right?
Yeah, if they beat them, like, then it goes to the second in the league. So they're going to play the FA Cup holders. They're going to play the winner, or if it's the same, it's going to be the second. So that there might be a Charity Shield if they beat United.
Also,
I expect that to be the outcome. Really, I'd say.
Yeah.
I think United will beat them. To be honest.
Maybe.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, if the the Man City bus doesn't turn up, they'll win. It will be
I think City, with their eye on the Champions League final the following week.
No, they'll hammer United 4-0. I can't see anything but.
Yeah, I will see anyway.
I was kind of hoping for an earthquake in the middle of the pitch, with no actual fatalities. Just a few.
Strike, they put the great.
Just a few that would end the football careers of both teams. You know,
Yeah.
No, we wish both teams the very best of that. Next week we'll be going through the possible incomings and outgoings in the summer. And the top 10 goals of the season and player of the season. Do you want to mention, Martin, the women team before we wrap up. They lost weekend, didn't they?
They lost the last game in the weekend. They still qualified though, I think, for the Champions League as third. So look, they've been absolutely ravaged with like injuries. Like one good thing to mention is like one of our own fans actually got now a writing gig for Just Arsenal Women. So she actually is doing the blog for them now. So she kind of went together with justarsenal.com. And so that's a good thing to have from our side as well. She's probably going to put something on our website, and hopefully next season as well that we're going to do the women's club a bit more activity, even to see if we can do a few showings the same way as we did the men's game, that we can actually put it on telly and have some fans who want to watch the women's game as well in the river bar or wherever we're going to be. So that's going to be our plans. But so the main thing for Katie now, like, is the World Cup coming up. That's the biggest event for the women now in it's nearly 6 weeks now to go. And then see, like, how they can come out stronger. But like, the injuries just really killed us. Like, and if we thought like we are bad with Saliba and whoever we lost, like, I mean, you cannot. It's just impossible to change 6 or 7 people when they're on a stretcher, like, and you just miss your best people. It's just they just really got slaughtered. Yeah. So unfortunately, it didn't last. I think they had a quite good season. They won the trophy, but it didn't last for any kind of season, push to go and beat Chelsea. That it was just wasn't there. But yeah, we wish them all the best, and hopefully they all come back stronger than before, and next season should be a good season then.
Yeah, Eamonn, Matt, would you like to mention the women yourself?
Like Martin said, there were some serious injuries there. I think it was 6 players with a similar injury.
Like ACL, like, Miedema said, like, they have an ACL club, like, and they're fully subscribed, so we don't need any more.
And of course,
it's incredible, isn't it, that they win so much.
Yeah, but same. I mean, look, they took it as far as they could this season. They actually went. Yeah. They went fairly close too. They're within 3 games at the end of the season. They were still in with a shout. Yeah. So it just became too much for them and all that. But yeah, like you say, come back stronger next season. Chelsea are a very, very strong side. I think they've won the last 3 league titles. Am I right in thinking that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
3 doubles as well. So they're very, very strong. And of course, City and Man U as well are after coming on very well there too in the last few seasons. So, but they're well up for it. They have a very strong squad there when they're all fit. So hopefully they can get back injury free next season, like ourselves, and do something better. All going well.
They also won a trophy and got to the semi-finals of the Champions League. Like,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's actually in the Champions League. I'd say they could have won it, but it's just like they only had 11 players really to field, and once they went into extra time, you knew their legs were going, and then unfortunately, the last minute they conceded a goal. But they could have gone to the final, even with a really like a skeleton of a team, And let's hope that all the girls who have injuries, come back from it, and that's the most important thing, and then strengthen, and just go again and see what they do. It's just really good to see that the competition is growing in the women's team as well. So it's not only Chelsea and Arsenal, like as you said, Man United coming back, Liverpool are getting a strong women's team together as well. Man City. So there is competition now, and it's actually really, really good to watch the games. And by the way, like we always have it in our comments, like Lottie, our GOONER from England, who has also like a show about the women's game. So like, gonna go watching her channel. It's really good. She goes to every single game. She has a really, really deep insight into the women's game, and hopefully we can do something more about that for us as well in next season.
And also in the women's league, Tottenham are pretty bad, which is
at least they're consistent.
It's always a help, that, isn't it?
Consistent across all levels. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You can hear me okay?
Yeah.
So that really wraps it up. Is there anything else you'd like to mention, lads? We had a good show there now.
No,
we're just gonna take a break now, till the 15th from the club side as well. So we'll come back, like with new energy hopefully, and see what we're gonna do the next season. And so we're just taking a good break now.
Yeah, this coming Friday, as I said, the 2nd of June, is the quiz night, so we hope to have as many on as possible for the end of season quiz. And obviously next Monday we'll have the season review, and that will wrap it up to the pre-season in August. So I'd like to thank, as always, my weekly guests, Matt Bourne, Eamonn Donnelly, and Martin Stoneville. Thanks for coming on, lads.
Cheers,
Thank you.
Jonathan.
Thanks for having me.
As always, you can catch us on the Dublin Arsenal YouTube channel, Spotify, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Check out Martin's show Beyond the Last Man when he gets off his arse and does another. Check out Balon Sports Direct, our sponsors. Thank you. Any free jerseys, please hand them over. Check out our friends at justarsel.com. Stick us up there, Pat. We'll give you a Dublin Arsenal fan pack if you do. And check out the River Bar. Thanks very much for having us this season. Eamonn, will you sing us out?
Well, it has to be, even though we didn't do it, it has to be the old standard. I want you all to join me. We won the league at Anfield. We won it at the Lane. Stamford Bridge and Old Trafford.
Oh, God.
Right, we'll talk to you then on Friday for the quiz night. See you soon, and have a good week.
See you later, right?
Take it easy.
Bye.
Nice.